Hey guys, welcome back to Bus Vintage Bikes, and for something a little bit different. Today I'm going to teach you how to make stickers for your rims. So here I've got two mismatched carbon rims. I've got a prime on this side, and I've got a token on this side, and I want this token to match the stickers of this prime. So I'm going to make new prime stickers for this token rim. Ooh, I know I shouldn't, but you want them to look matched on the bike at least. We're going to remove this token sticker, and then we're going to design and cut new vinyl stickers for this particular rim. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to remove these prime stickers off of this rim because they're this light gray, they're not really visible on the rim. I want something to stand out a little bit more. So we're going to remove these, we're going to replace them with a slightly glossy to metallic silver prime decal or prime vinyl sticker to match this rim, and it's going to be a little bit more noticeable on the bike. So the first thing we want to do is measure the radius of the rim, so we can put that into the software package to get the curve correct. So in this instance it's 310 mils to the first line of the braking surface. We obviously don't want the sticker to go beyond that, otherwise it'll just come off when the brake hits it. The next thing we want to do is measure the width of the rim. In this instance, 35 mils to the first line of the braking surface. So now I have the outside radius and I have the inside radius. So in the software package I can see which area I have to work in. So for the new rim, I need to match this prime sticker. There's various ways to be able to bring this into the software package. You can either look online for a similar sticker or the actual prime logo, if you can find a JPEG image or a PNG image online, or you can simply take a photograph if you have an existing image like we do in this case, import that into the software and then replicate it in the software, which is what I'm going to be doing in this instance. To get this right, you're going to need two critical components: a vinyl cutter, I use a Silhouette, and a laptop to do your design. So the software I'm using to do this is called Silhouette Studio, and it comes with your vinyl cutter when you purchase it. So in the middle of the software here, you can see your cutting mat. This replicates the mat that goes into your vinyl cutter and actually cuts the vinyl. So you can set it up to be in inches or in centimeters, and it's real world scale. So whatever value you input into your software, it'll cut it to that size on the mat. So here I've drawn 3 circles, each of the radius of the measurements that I took on the wheel. So this outer one is 310 mils, the inner one, I can't exactly remember the radius of that, I think it was 305 mils, and then the inner one represents the inner radius of the actual rim. So the space that we have to work with here is in between that middle ring or circle and the inner circle. That is the actual rim distance that we have to work with, and that little gap there replicates the braking surface on the rim. So now we go and open the photo we took of that prime sticker. And that's what it looks like. Now we want to trace that sticker to replicate it. Here you can also, if you have been able to find an image off the web, you can import that image on the web and utilize that image. Sometimes easier, but in this instance I couldn't find a prime decal or image. Using the software, we now want to trace this prime image so that we can create a replica of it in the software package. You have an image like this where the color tones are so similar, you often have to play around with the contrast on the software to get the traced area more defined, because that helps the software to trace it better. So now select the trace tool. I'm obviously not going to explain to you how to use the software, it'll take too long. Choose the area I want to trace. And and then I can play around with the speckle ratio to define what I want traced on it. So for the purposes of this video, let's say that is the area. I then say trace it. And I can move my image away and the outline of that area will be traced. Now it's up to me to spend time to clean up this image to get this logo, or rather this vector image, as accurate as possible to the original. So these vector lines are actually all part of one grouping at the moment. For me to clean it up, I need to drop this grouping. So there's an option to release a compound path, which I do, and then it drops all of those, so each one becomes an individual vector image. Then I can select the number of them that I don't want. Let's just say I select those and I can simply delete them. And by doing that, I can go through this whole vector image and clean up everything that I don't want. I'm obviously only interested in that center bit where the prime logo is. So once I've spent some time editing all those vector pieces, I'm left with the prime vector image that looks like this. So just to show you that each one of these things are still individual vector points, and you're able to move these vector points as well to get them more accurate. So if, for example, I don't want that middle vector point there, I can simply delete it, and my line becomes more straight. And if, for example, I don't like the radius on this curve, I can select it and I can actually manipulate that radius to be any way I want. If I want the decal to have a funky shape to it, I can simply manipulate it using these radii points. And each point has got, I don't know what we call these things, little curve, these little vector points that allow you to move these shapes around to get it to the shape that you want it. And then you can deselect it and you'll sit with a different shape. So if I had to cut this as a vinyl decal now, that's physically what the vinyl decal would look like. So then I simply select my new image that I've got and I move it down to the curve that I created previously. And then I can have a look at how it matches up with that particular curve. This is also a good time to go back to your rim to measure the length of the decal so that you get your dimensions correct on it as well. And then you're able to simply rotate this image to match that curve. So I can move it using keyboard, I can do fine movements, and I can move it to within the two lines that I'm working on. Then I know that if I cut this vinyl now, it will be exactly the same size as what the rim is, because I'm working within the two lines, the two measurement lines of that particular rim. So this is what the cutting mat looks like that holds the vinyl that goes into your vinyl cutter. This is normally a sticky surface, but this mat's really old, so it's lost its stickiness, but that's not a problem because you can just simply stick the vinyl down using tape. It's just over 30 centimeters squared, the mat. So you are limited in size as to how wide you can put through your vinyl cutter. These are little home DIY vinyl cutters, but you can also feed a roller vinyl into it. So you can feed a 30 centimeter wide roller vinyl through it. Then simply cut your vinyl to size. Choose obviously the color that you're after. And in this instance, I'm just going to stick it down onto the surface using tape. Once you've stuck your vinyl down, it's going to look like that, and then you simply feed this mat into your machine. Once you're happy with your final design, you can duplicate it as many times as will fit on your cutting mat, and then simply move it down to find the optimal position so you can utilize the vinyl that you have. In this instance, I need to rotate this particular design to make use of the space because the design is quite large. So it literally just fits inside, or just fits onto the cutting mat. And I can print 3 at a time, which is actually ideal because there's 3 decals or 3 stickers per rim, per side of the rim. And move it around a little bit just to get it so that I know it'll be comfortable on that cutting mat with no overlaps lapping over the side, so I don't want any of these edges cut off on my design. Load the cutting mat into your vinyl cutter. Then go back to your file and press the send button, the same way you would send a print file to a printer. And then your rather noisy vinyl cutter will cut out your design for you. And there is your cut design. So now you just need to weed off the excess vinyl around the outside and put on some transfer tape. Once you removed your vinyl off of the cutting mat, cut it down to a size that's workable. Then you're going to use something called transfer tape, and you're going to stick this tape over the top of your vinyl, and it will allow you to accurately transfer the vinyl onto the surface that you are working with. This tape is also less sticky than what actual vinyl is, so when you remove this tape from the top of the vinyl, it won't pull the vinyl off of the surface. I prefer to roll this tape out upside down on a surface, and because this tape, it almost builds up static, so when you're trying to stick your vinyl down, sometimes the tape jumps up towards the vinyl, or the vinyl jumps towards the tape. So that's the actual design. So I'm going to stick it upside down like this, and I'm going to choose how best to place it on this transfer tape so that I'm saving some of my transfer tape or using as little as possible. So time to weed your design. So that's getting rid of the backing vinyl on it. You also want to do this quite carefully. You make sure that your cuts have come out clean. Otherwise, sometimes that happens. You get a cut that's not entirely crisp. You can just go back and use a scalpel to clean that up. So once you've weeded your design, you can then stick it down on your transfer tape. So to get an idea where you want it, I prefer to start in a corner, stick it down, and then just sort of ease it in. You have your transfer tape over your design, and now you can cut each one of those out separately. Starting with the rim whose decals we're going to replace, mark off the position of the existing stickers. This will just help you work within the lines basically. So that's just giving me a rough guideline now, so I don't have to go re-measure the rim afterwards and wonder where the stickers need to go. Once that's done, go ahead and remove existing decals. Now, depending what's on the rim that you're taking off, you might need a heat gun to do this. So I've tested these already, and this is a vinyl decal that's on this rim, and it comes off fairly easy. I say fairly easy, but these are really brittle. So they keep on breaking into these small pieces. So sometimes this can be time consuming, especially if the sticker that's on here sticks really hard or is still very sticky. And even with a heat gun, you're left with a lot of residue afterwards to try and get off. Once you have your old sticker off, good idea to clean your rim so that your new sticker can adhere correctly. I like to use rubbing alcohol. Remove the old sticky residue and also some of the road dirt that might still be on the rim. Give it a good rub down. Make sure you get rid of all the little sticky pieces that might still be on there, because if you stick your new vinyl over that, you're going to notice it on the vinyl. You won't get a smooth surface. And that's what sort of comes off of it. When your rim is clean and you've got your sticker cut out of your vinyl, you can then lay it down onto the rim. And if your measurements were correct, it should be the same curve as the rim, as it is over here. Excuse this being upside down, but it's easier to work with this part of the rim closer to me, obviously, from the table. Then it's just a case of peeling off the backing tape to expose the decal or the sticker. I keep on getting stickers and decals confused. And then just very carefully placing it on the rim to make sure you get it accurate. Once you're done, you should hopefully end up with a wheel that looks like this. So there you have it, guys, a set of carbon rims with a new lease on life. This is the old prime rim that had those dark grey decals on it. I'm not sure what the light is like here, but now these metallic decals or stickers are really going to pop on this one. That's the old token rim with the prime decals now. You can already see the way the light's catching that in the garage here. Looks a whole lot better. Might be a good idea once you've put your decals or your stickers on. Still getting the decals and stickers confused. Anyway, once you've got them on, you can hit them with a hairdryer on medium heat. Just helps the adhesion of them. Or you can take the rim and lie it in the sun for a while. That'll also help with the adhesion. Sometimes with these sort of narrow stickers, you want to have a little bit better adhesion on them because you don't want them to come off with a high pressure washer. But I can tell you from experience, I've yet to have one come off on me on any of the rims. So I bought my Silhouette Cameo vinyl cutter to do negative stickers for when I do the spray painting on my restoration projects. Since then, I've had a demand from guys asking, can I do stickers for them? Yeah? And of course you can. It's really easy, as you can see in this video. You can literally create, especially if you've got a bit of a creative flair, you can create any sticker you want. You can replicate stickers. The only downside when you're doing it with vinyl is you're limited to the color that you're using, of course, because you need to use the vinyl that you're purchasing. My daughter Sarah is now in charge of creating stickers or cutting stickers and designing stickers. She's using that to fund her way through university next year, so she's raising money or she's saving money. So if you're in South Africa, you need any stickers made, look up Sarah. She's on Instagram under Moonlight Vinyls, and she can create any sticker that you require for your bicycle, for your car, manufacture for anything. So thanks guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you gained a little bit of knowledge from it, and hit that subscribe button. See you in the next video. Cheers.